Tonight, 16 superstars will compete for the opportunity to become King of the Ring. And what's in store for the winner? Either a WWE or World Heavyweight Championship match in the main event of Survivor Series. Last year, it was Mark Henry who won it all, and tonight he returns to extend his time as king. However, another strong contender to the crown is Cesaro, who makes his second appearance in the tournament after falling short in the semifinals last year. Can his momentum be stopped as he approaches a record-breaking reign as United States champion? Welcome back to King of the Ring. We are now here, round 2. Match number 1 is about to get underway. And we return to the man who kicked off this King of the Ring tournament. It is the architect formerly of the Shield, Seth Rollins. And now he will be going one-on-one with the super athlete, Rusev. Seth Rollins, he went through a hell of a war against Rob Van Dam in the first round of the tournament. Rusev, he had quite the difficulty in a match against Curtis Axel, but we'll see as this matchup gets underway who comes in with the upper hand. I think Seth Rollins, he's going to be working at a bit of a disadvantage tonight after that match with Rob Van Dam. Rusev, he could just be licking his chops, just chomping at the bit in preparation for this matchup because he knows he has Seth Rollins at less than 100%. You know, Seth Rollins, he comes out here in this white attire tonight, almost like he's trying to play God here in this King of the Ring tournament. True royalty, a king above all kings. Well, Rusev, hopefully in this matchup, Rusev can put that ego in check and bring Seth Rollins back to reality. You know, Rusev, I gotta admit, in the past, I haven't been too pleased with his methods. But, I mean, you have to admit, Rusev, he is one talented athlete. He is a powerhouse, the likes of which we may have never seen yet in universe mode. I mean, you think about it, when he had his match with Ryback back at Payback, Ryback now, he's gone on to become the World Heavyweight Champion. Rusev gave Ryback a run for his money. And Rusev, I think it's only a matter of time until he becomes the next #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. You know, he just came up short at Night of Champions against Randy Orton, but I do think that Rusev, he is on the cusp of becoming the next breakout main eventer here on Monday Night Raw. Well, you want to talk about breakout main eventers, we have a true showcase of Monday Night Raw's future as two world champions are set to collide in this one. Rusev, Seth Rollins, about to get this matchup underway. Rusev, he's got his game face on as he's going through his pre-match preparations here. Seth Rollins, he's got to be thinking to himself, what am I going to have to do to put away Rusev? Rollins already working at a disadvantage with still recovering from the battle wounds, the battle scars in his match with Rob Van Dam. And now, you have to think though, Seth Rollins, he has had quite an abundant amount of time to recover. He's had a little over an hour to really recompose himself. Rusev, he hasn't had quite as much time since his match with Curtis Axel, but I still think the damage done in the opening match with Rob Van Dam is going to add up. Look at Seth Rollins, perhaps trying to play a little bit of mind games, get inside the head of Rusev. That's what Seth Rollins is going to have to do. He's going to have to play some mind games in this matchup tonight. And I hate to say it, but Seth Rollins, he might be pulling out a few of his dirty tricks. Let's look at this. Oh, a choke slingshot right there into the ropes. Looking to cut off the oxygen to the brain of Rusev. Try to cut off that power game that Rusev brings to the table. Look at this clothesline. Rusev out over the top rope. And so far, Seth Rollins has got the upper hand in this matchup. Seth Rollins, what's he looking to do here? Clothesline off the apron. Seth Rollins right off the bat, quickening the pace, utilizing his high-flying ability. That's what he's got to do to keep Rusev off guard, but Rusev with a huge clothesline turns Seth Rollins inside out. And I hear Rusev, just that scream of his. That war cry. Oh, and now he's just tossing Seth Rollins around. Rusev, he's going to work here on the outside. Look at this. Backbreaker right there to Seth Rollins. And this is what I'm talking about, Rusev. You let him get a hold of you. You let him start to overpower you, and it's game, set, match. Now, Seth Rollins bouncing skull first off the ring post. Rusev going in to break the count here. As wait, Seth Rollins perhaps trying to capitalize here with a backbreaker. No, wait. Rusev shifts the weight. And he plants Seth Rollins down. Face first into the floor. And now into the barricade goes Seth Rollins. And Rusev, a belly-to-belly suplex. And perhaps the back of Seth Rollins' leg getting all caught up on that apron there. And now look again. Rusev, belly-to-belly onto the floor. And with this being out on the outside, every single move is only going to do that much more damage. That is a very thin padding that offers very little protection from the concrete floor below. And Rusev really zeroing in on that back of Seth Rollins. And at this point, I mean, Seth Rollins, he has felt the sting of the accolade in the past. And he has tapped out to it. So Seth Rollins, if he gets caught in that accolade, it's going to be over. Rusev perhaps sizing him up for the super kick here. Look out, Seth Rollins. He's about to get his head taken off. No! Rusev was looking for a clothesline, but Seth Rollins able to dodge this one. And now, facebuster to Rusev. And that's just the type of move that Seth Rollins needs to get himself back in control of this matchup. Rusev able to pull himself back to his feet, but Seth Rollins a blockbuster from the second rope. And now Rollins able to go into the cover. 1, 2, no! Not even a 2 count. Rusev is kicking out at 1. Seth Rollins now an enziguri right to the side of the head of Rusev. And Seth Rollins again utilizing those powerful kicks of his. Very smart. Although I don't think he wants to get into a battle of strikes with Rusev. That's just not a fight that Rollins is going to win. But right now, while he's got Rusev reeling, he's got to hurry up. Hit some big-time offense. Oh, no, wait, he got caught. Rusev has him in the corner. There's a couple of strikes from Rusev. And now, Rusev just driving that boot right into the chin of Seth Rollins here. Like I said, if Rusev locks in that accolade, it's all over. And right now, Seth Rollins, he's in a world of trouble. Rusev has already zeroed in on that back. Oh, and look at this. Rusev, Alabama Slammer. And that could put Rollins away. The hook of the leg. 2. No! Somehow Seth Rollins able to kick out of that one. And with these matchups, we had some pretty lengthy matchups in the opening round of the tournament. But now, at this stage in the game, matches may only get shorter and shorter as time goes on, considering that these Wait. Well, Rusev again, another war scream. Now perhaps looking to lock in the accolade. No, but wait, Rollins back to his feet. Seth Rollins, a knee right to the skull. And that one dropped Rusev. But as I was saying, as this goes on, these superstars get more and more fatigued. The matches are only going to get quicker and quicker as it takes less and less offense to put away their opponents. And as well as that, recovery time in between matches is going to get shorter and shorter as the competition dwindles down. Right now, Seth Rollins with these rapid-fire curb stomps to the chest of Rusev. Seth Rollins, like I said, he has had about an hour to recover. So while that's not the same as your ordinary recovery time in between matches, at the very least you'll get 1 day in between matches. It's a fairly decent time. Seth Rollins may have been able to recover somewhat, but he still could be having some nagging injuries. As Seth Rollins tried to go for a springboard senton, Rusev, I think that was just pure luck that he was able to avoid that one. He was just getting back up to his feet. Seth Rollins, he paid for it. And now it's Rusev back on the offensive. Rusev now dragging Rollins to the center of the ring and just tossing him around by the hair. Maybe ripping out some of Seth Rollins' hair right from the roots. That just shows the brutality of Rusev as he's up to the second rope. Look at this senton! No. He went for a running swanton. Oh my goodness, Seth Rollins, a huge knee to the skull. Rusev might have lost a couple teeth on that one. As Rusev, he was looking for that swanton from the second rope. But Seth Rollins able to dodge it. And now it's Rusev who pays the price. As Seth Rollins has him up, looking for that buckle bomb into the corner. And Seth Rollins, if he hooks the leg, this could be over. 1, 2, no! Close call there for Rusev, but he kicks out nonetheless. Seth Rollins, frustration beginning to set in. Bulldog right there to Rusev, taking him back down to the canvas. But Seth Rollins, he can't waste any time here. Look at this, a roll up on Rusev, stacked up on his shoulders. 1, 2, through. Another near fall for Seth Rollins. Slowly but surely, he's wearing Rusev down. And now, look at this, a hip toss to Rusev. Not a hip toss, what am I saying? A hatch suplex, if I can call my moves correctly. And I believe Rusev was busted open on one of those moves. The blood now flowing from the skull of Rusev, and Seth Rollins could look to exploit that as he tosses the Bulgarian Brute over the top rope to the floor. As this match brought back to the outside. Seth Rollins, if he has to, I'm sure he'll take a victory by countout. If that's what it takes to defeat Rusev, then I'm sure that he will utilize that to his advantage. As he bounces Rusev's busted open skull off the announce table. Oh, and now Seth Rollins, he's uncovering the table. You know, normally we only have one of these things here, but this is a huge event. And it looks like our production team has splurged a bit. We have 2 announce tables, and that could come back to bite Rusev. Oh, but wait, Seth Rollins, he wasted too much time. And now he's at the mercy of the beast. Rusev right now, he's got Seth Rollins in a tough predicament. Belly-to-belly suplex yet again. And things are only getting from bad to worse for Seth Rollins. And Rusev again, belly-to-belly suplex once more. At this point, Seth Rollins, wait. Rusev calling for the super kick. As he goes to the corner, if Seth Rollins, if he gets hit with one of these, it could be lights out. Rusev might not even need to use the accolade. Here we go. Super kick from Rusev. And that might have just put him out. Rusev, whoa, wait a minute. What the hell is Kane doing here? Don't tell me we're gonna see a repeat of SummerSlam. That's the director of operations, Kane, and he is here again during one of Seth Rollins' matches. Well, Rusev right now, I mean, how can you not be distracted by that just eruption of pyro at the stage? And now Kane, wait a minute, no! What the hell, the Big Show? Big Show's here as well! Big Show just jumped the barricade, or I guess walked over it. Big Show's not much for jumping these days. But right now he's battling Rusev and the referee's got his back turned. That snake Kane is distracting the referee here. And right now Rusev, he's battling it out here with Big Show. Oh no, choke slam through the announce table. How did the referee not hear that? I mean, Kane is just right in his ear somehow. The referee, I guess, you know, you can make assumptions, but I guess the referee, he can't really just disqualify Seth Rollins here if he didn't see what happened. Unfortunate as it is. No, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Seth Rollins, the kick to the gut. Not this way. Not this way. Pedigree. Pedigree to Rusev. No. No. Rusev, you have to kick out. You have to kick out. Damn it all to hell. Seth Rollins, once again by hook and by crook, he escapes yet another matchup. Oh my goodness. This is... I mentioned this in his match with Rob Van Dam, that this is what happens. Whenever Seth Rollins, he can hold his own, but whenever he starts to get into dire straits, you can guarantee that he's got some pawns at his disposal, and he had 2 of them tonight. I mean, Kane distracting the referee. Big Show then capitalizing on that distraction. The choke slam to Rusev through the table. Well, damn it, Seth Rollins. He's moving on to the semifinals. But Seth Rollins, he sure as hell doesn't deserve it. Well, this is just an outrage. This is incredibly frustrating, but I'm sure for one man, this man, Dean Ambrose, he is just relishing at the opportunity to face Seth Rollins next round, now that Seth has moved on. And, you know, you might wonder, well, where was Dean Ambrose during that attack? Why didn't Dean Ambrose come down there and perhaps try to stop that from happening? Well, that is a bit of selfishness on Dean Ambrose's part, I'm not going to deny that. He wants his match with Seth Rollins. He wants the courtesy himself of removing Seth Rollins from this tournament. So, perhaps that's why Dean Ambrose didn't get involved in that previous matchup. Unfortunately for Rusev, he got screwed out of a victory. But, you know, there's no sense crying over it now. What's done is done. We're just going to have to hope that the winner of this matchup puts his hopes of ever winning this King of the Ring tournament to shame. I mean, right here, you're looking at the man last year who eliminated Seth Rollins from the King of the Ring tournament, as it's the United States champion Cesaro making his way here to the ring. I mean, this matchup here has the potential to be a show stealer. I mean, you're looking at two of the very best on Monday Night Raw. Two of the huge up-and-coming stars. Two future world champions yet again in this matchup tonight. And now that we've reached this stage in the King of the Ring tournament, I'd have to say all of our quarterfinalists can definitely be considered future world heavyweight champions. I mean, just take a look. We've seen these four on Monday Night Raw. You take a look at SmackDown's side of things, you have the likes of Mark Henry, who is a former world heavyweight champion. You have Titus O'Neil, who is a former Intercontinental Champion. You have Roman Reigns, who, I mean, just looking at the Shield's history, you have Ambrose and Rollins. They've gone on to do great things. Roman Reigns as well, over on SmackDown, has done some pretty incredible things. Let's look at this right now. Seth Rollins, or I should say Dean Ambrose and Cesaro, striking it out. But now it's Dean Ambrose slapping Cesaro in the face, and a drop kick right there, as he takes down the Swiss Superman. And even Stardust. You know, people might not think that Stardust has the potential to be a future world champion, but I wouldn't count Stardust out. Stardust, he's got more tricks up his sleeve than you might think. As right now, Dean Ambrose, he's got the upper hand. Just kidding. Cesaro turns the tides. And the Lunatic Fringe now whipped off the ropes. Here's Cesaro, Michinoku driver. And now into the cover hook of the leg. 1, 2, nope, just a 1 count. Just a 1 count. And now Cesaro. He's got Dean Ambrose here by the neck. And he takes him down there with that neck breaker. Once again, Cesaro putting his power on display. And right now, Dean Ambrose, he's on the receiving end of this assault. Now wait, counter by Ambrose, as he takes down Cesaro. And now Dean Ambrose firing away. Dean Ambrose, he is opening up a can of whoop-ass on Cesaro here in this matchup. A stomp right to the chest of the Swiss Superman. Dean Ambrose now slamming Cesaro's skull into the mat there. And Dean Ambrose, he is just like a house of fire right now. Elbow drop from the top rope, right across the skull of Cesaro. The hook of the leg. 1, 2. Oh! Cesaro able to get the shoulder up there at 2. And Dean Ambrose, he had a pretty tough contest against Zack Ryder in the last round. I mean, he got superplexed out to the floor. Cesaro with that elbow right to the skull of Dean Ambrose. But Cesaro, he had a tough battle against Christian as well. Both of these men had, they had some difficulty in that first round, but right now, I don't know. I don't know if I can really say either man has the upper hand in terms of fatigue. Because while Ambrose did take that superplex out to the floor, he's had more time to recover than Cesaro has. Let's look at this. Cesaro, gut wrench suplex. Everybody loves a good gut wrench. Cesaro into the cover. 2. No! Ambrose gets the shoulder up. Cesaro now a bit of frustration there, but he can't waste any time. He's got to stay on the attack on the Lunatic Fringe. He doesn't want to give Ambrose any opening. Oh, wait. There it is. Ambrose capitalizing with the arm drag. And now Cesaro up against the ropes. Ambrose. Back body drop. Look at the height on that one. And now a kick right to the... Was that right to the ear of Cesaro? Vicious attack there by Ambrose. A bit unconventional, but that's what brought him to the dance. Cesaro with the elbow to the face, but Ambrose bounces back. That is vintage Dean Ambrose with the rebounding clothesline. And now Ambrose, he's feeling it. And now, Cesaro, you're next. No! Cesaro able to dodge the knee trembler. And now, belly-to-belly suplex to Dean Ambrose. Ambrose, it looked like that was the final shot, but Cesaro said no. This is not over. Cesaro now hooking the arms for what appears to be a Ricola bomb. Taking down Ambrose. Cesaro, the cover again. 2. No. Ambrose emphatically kicks out at 2. Cesaro off the ropes, a big boot right to the skull. And the warden of the Ambrose Asylum is in a bit of trouble here. Cesaro perhaps was looking for a Cesaro swing. Ambrose back to his feet before Cesaro could get the chance. But a snap suplex brings him right back into prime position. Cesaro, are we going to see it? Here we go, Ambrose. He's going for the ride. Around and around and around he goes. Cesaro swings Dean Ambrose into oblivion. And that could be the beginning of the end for Dean Ambrose. Okay, how does Cesaro do this? The Cesaro swing, then he goes to the top. And he manages to connect a powerful elbow drop. I mean, this man Cesaro, he is just insane. Look at this now. Look at the strength of Cesaro there. And now a double foot stop right to the gut. And a kick to the face to boot. Cesaro is just... He's unstoppable right now. He is just a freight train of momentum right now that Dean Ambrose has no chance of stopping. A European uppercut in the corner. Cesaro. I mean, just look at this. Suddenly, something is just awoken in Cesaro. Now, oh, we went for a clothesline to the back, but Ambrose fires back with a clothesline of his own. And now that's going to be it. Dean Ambrose, he's signaling for the kill. He's got Cesaro here. Dean Ambrose, DDT! Spiking Cesaro's skull into the canvas. And Ambrose, that might have put Cesaro out cold. Dean Ambrose sending Cesaro into the corner. And now a roll up by Ambrose inside cradle. 1, 2. Oh, ho, 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 close call there. Cesaro just able to survive. But Dean Ambrose, he's not wasting any time. He's going right back on the attack. Look at Dean Ambrose. Powerbomb to Cesaro. And that could put him out. The cover. 1, 2. No, another kick out by Cesaro. Ambrose in disbelief, but Cesaro back up to his feet. Ambrose, look at this. Again firing away on Cesaro. Dean Ambrose, is there no end to this man's adrenaline? Dean Ambrose and Cesaro, what a match this has been. Ambrose, perhaps looking for that powerbomb again. No, wait, Cesaro! Beautiful counter, shifting the weight into a DDT. Oh, and now Ambrose. Ambrose, he got caught. Cesaro, gut-wrench suplex. And he's looking for the trifecta as he keeps it hooked for the second gut-wrench suplex. And here comes the third gut-wrench suplex. Cesaro, I think this is the beginning of the end for Dean Ambrose. And Cesaro knows it. The crowd on their feet. They have just been absolutely on fire for this one. As Cesaro cracks the neck. Neutralizer to Dean Ambrose. And now Cesaro hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. Cesaro is moving on to the semifinals to face off against Seth Rollins. And the winner of that one is going to be representing Monday Night Raw in the King of the Ring finals. But wow, what a matchup that was. Back and forth, a hellacious battle between Dean Ambrose and Cesaro here. I mean, there were several instances where it looked like Dean Ambrose was going to come out on top. But in the end, this neutralizer, it was checkmate for Dean Ambrose. And Cesaro now, perhaps he can be the one to bring Seth Rollins to justice in the semifinals. But that's going to be it. We're moving on to SmackDown side. We now enter the second half of the quarterfinals here in the King of the Ring tournament. And match 3 of the quarterfinals, it is the world's strongest man, the returning King of the Ring, Mark Henry, going one-on-one with the former Intercontinental Champion, Titus O'Neil. This matchup is set to be a clash of epic proportions, and a winner of this one will move on to face the winner of the Stardust Roman Reigns contest, which will follow this matchup immediately. So, Mark Henry, could he perhaps be looking at a repeat this year? He looked mighty impressive in that first matchup against Darren Young, albeit it was a bit of a mismatch between the two. But now Mark Henry, he's going to be going up against somebody more his size, someone who could, I wouldn't say match his power, but he could definitely put up a good fight in that department. But we'll see who's going to come out on top. Will it be Mark Henry, or will it be his opponent who is about to make his way down to the ring? Will it be Titus O'Neil, the real deal? Well, Titus, of course, he defeated one half of the tag team champions, Connor, to make it to this quarterfinal matchup here in the tournament. And Titus O'Neil, he qualified for the tournament by defeating Jack Swagger. Mark Henry, he qualified by defeating Bo Dallas. So both of these men, they are looking ready to go. They've had, you know, this is the part of the tournament where things really start to wind down. I mean, they had plenty of time to recover for this matchup, but it's only gonna, that recovery time is only gonna shrink more and more as the tournament continues. I guess at least in their benefit, though, whoever wins this matchup is going to have more time to recover than the winner of the next matchup. So, even just that slight, maybe 10-15 minutes, it could just be all the more crucial in deciding the victor or the loser. Well, here we go. These two men have their game faces on, and this match is underway, but Mark Henry just shoves Titus O'Neil away. And now blocks a punch, delivers a kick to the gut of the real deal. There's a body shot from Henry. Oh, and now a vicious headbutt. That one drops the real deal. And Mark back with the elbow drops. The cover on Titus, but not even a 1 count. Titus quick to power out of that one. And we saw Mark Henry utilize those elbows to devastating effect. Oh, no, wait, Titus shifts the weight. Able to counter that back suplex. Turn it into a crossbody there. And a huge clothesline there from Titus O'Neil. But as I was saying, we saw Mark Henry utilize those elbows to devastating effect on Darren Young in the first round. Titus O'Neil, he doesn't want to get hit with too many of those. Expect to continue. So right now, instead, he's pummeling away on Mark Henry. Titus O'Neil. Big right hand. And that one dropped the world's strongest man. A very good start here from Titus O'Neil. Now driving these elbows right into the shoulder blades of Mark Henry, or perhaps more the collarbone. I don't know, it's tough to hit bone through all that muscle that Mark Henry possesses. Oh, now a headbutt. And he's still got a hold of him. Delivers a second headbutt. And a third headbutt in that one. That one sends Titus O'Neil crashing into the mat. Mark Henry, now he's firm control. He has firm control of this matchup. Another headbutt to Titus. Mark Henry looking to try to... No, wait. Looking instead for a two-handed... No, counter by Titus. Titus raked the eyes and now a running STO. And that's what you gotta do. Sometimes you have to utilize a tactic like that. It's not exactly under the rule book. It's definitely the referee gonna have to keep a close eye on something like that. But when you're going up against a man the size of Mark Henry, you gotta do whatever it takes to avoid getting tossed around like a rag doll. And Titus O'Neil, that's just what he did by raking the eyes. And now look at Titus. Backbreaker there to Mark. Just look at the strength, look at the ease at which Titus O'Neil able to toss him overhead. And now barking like a dog once again. I think the crowd, they might be siding more with Titus O'Neil on this one, as opposed to Mark Henry. They don't want to see a repeat. And Titus could put Mark Henry's King of the Rings run to an end with that pump handle power slam. 1, 2, no! Henry powers out of the pump handle power slam. And Titus O'Neil, that was one of his beams. But he's going to have to go back to the drawing board. Takes Henry down with a neck breaker this time. Now Titus perhaps looking to take a risk. Up to the second rope. Went to drop the elbow, but instead Henry able to duck out of the way. And we've seen this before. Henry, he's got Titus up on his shoulders here. Backbreaker there. Really just taking out the entire left side of Titus O'Neil. And Titus trying to use the ropes to get back to his feet. But now he's in prime position for one of Mark Henry's devastating power bombs. And even at that, on the way down, Titus O'Neil, the back of his head, catching on those ropes. And now Henry looking for a submission hold. A camel clutch applied. Look at this. Submission hold by Mark Henry. Titus O'Neil can't quite get to those ropes. Henry doing a fantastic job of wearing Titus O'Neil down here. And now perhaps looking for yet another power bomb. Here we go. Down goes Titus. And Henry now maybe gonna go for the cover. No, deciding against it. Instead, boom, big right hand. What a move there by Mark Henry. And now Henry, oh, now Henry's up to the second rope. This is not going to be good for Titus O'Neil. Splash! Off the second rope by Mark Henry. And that might put Titus away. 1, 2. No, Henry. It was not enough. You see, he's in a bit of disbelief there. Titus just able to kick at it too. But, I mean, you have all 400 plus pounds of Mark Henry coming down you off the second rope. How in the hell did Titus kick out of it? Now a Samoan drop by Henry. Oh no, he's looking to do it again. Mark Henry. Back up to the second rope. Oh, maybe perhaps looking to splash again on Titus O'Neil. No, this time Titus able to roll out of the way. And I think if he got hit with another one of those splashes, that would have done it. But Titus now with a big boot to the skull of Mark Henry. Looking to try to keep Henry down on the mat. Henry back up to his feet, though. Oh, no. Henry blocked the punch and follows it up with another headbutt. See, this is why you got to keep Henry down on the mat. That was a smart attempt from Titus. Oh, no, wait. Now he counters with an elbow to the side of the head. And now Titus has him up against the ropes. Big-time clothesline, Henry. Over the top rope to the floor. And Titus O'Neil fired up now. Could be summoning his second wind here. Looking to mount the comeback. Off the top rope, elbow drop from Titus. Out to the floor. Well, Titus, he's not much of a high flyer, but when you're going up against a man who you cannot outpower, sometimes that's just what you gotta do. Now bouncing Henry skull first off the ring post. Titus O'Neil now whipping him into the barricade. Titus O'Neil really bringing the fight to Mark Henry as he bounces him skull first off the barricade. And again, Henry whipped into the ring post by Titus. Titus now going back into the ring. Going to break the count, and that's indeed just what he does. Titus, he's out here tonight, partially fighting for the redemption, perhaps, of Darren Young. So he wants to win this match by pinfall. Or submission. Oh, look at Titus. Powerbomb again. Titus just showing his freakish strength. Able to lift up Mark Henry for that powerbomb. And now Titus sending Henry into the barricade. Titus O'Neil. He's just on fire right now. Spear through the barricade. Mark Henry nearly just took out the first row at ringside there as Titus speared him through the barricade. And Mark Henry, that could be it. He could be out of it. Titus goes back in to break the count. But he's still got to drag Mark Henry's body into the ring in order to pin him. And Titus, that's just what he's trying to do here. Gets him back into the ring now, but this is precious time that Titus is losing. Oh, a big boot right to the side of the head. Well, that might make up for that lost time. Titus into the ring now. Henry over, now gonna hook the leg. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no. Henry miraculously able to keep himself in this matchup. Titus, it just took him too long to get Henry back into the ring. Oh, but wait, Henry back to his feet. An arm drag. And now Henry. Oh, a big time splash to Titus out of the leg. 2. No, Titus. Another kick out. And now Henry starting to get frustrated. Elbow drop yet again. And another cover. 2. No. Mark Henry now a huge clothesline. He doesn't want to let Titus get back in this matchup. Mark Henry picking Titus up again. Looking to put him in the corner this time. Mark Henry, oh, a splash in the corner. Just throwing his entire body weight to O'Neil there. And that'll take the wind right out of you. Henry perhaps looking to do it again. Titus back in the corner. Henry now. Punch after punch after punch. And a hip toss. Sending Titus halfway across the ring. And that's what he does, folks. Mark Henry decimates people just like he's doing to Titus O'Neil right now. Titus off the ropes. Mark Henry flapjack there, and look at the height. Titus O'Neil, that was at least 10 feet in the air. Now the cover. 2. Oh, no. Titus again gets the shoulder up. Mark Henry can't believe it. But he can't waste this much time arguing with the referee. And again, Titus whipped off the ropes. And again, Mark Henry a flapjack. You see how much this is taking out of Mark Henry. Each flapjack is taking just about everything Henry's got left in him to get Titus that high up into the air. And now another flapjack. Oh my goodness. Again, Titus just tossed it like a rag doll, almost 10, 12 feet in the air. Henry again, a flap. No, he caught him this time. Oh no, Titus in trouble. World's Strongest Slam from the World's Strongest Man. And this match is over. 1, 2, 3. No, what? Are you kidding me? Titus O'Neil just kicked out of the World's Strongest Slam. How in the world did Titus find enough resolve left in him to kick out of that? Mark Henry can't believe it. He takes Titus back down with a belly-to-belly, but perhaps it was just a fluke. Another cover, and another kick out by Titus. He's still in this thing. It was not just a fluke kick out. Oh wait, now Titus back on the offensive here. He's bringing the fight to Mark Henry. Henry now whipped off the ropes. Titus O'Neil ducks underneath. And now what is this? Sweeps him out. A nice STO to take down Mark Henry. I'm amazed that Titus O'Neil is still in this matchup. But now Titus, he could perhaps be looking to finish off Mark Henry for good. He could be setting him up for what looks to be the clash of the Titus. And now it could be the end of days for Mark Henry. 1, 2, no! Now Titus O'Neil can't believe it. Both of these men with their finishing maneuvers, unable to put the other man away. And Titus O'Neil right now You can imagine the frustration just boiling over as he delivers another backbreaker and then a fallaway slam. Well, not even a fallaway slam, just tossing Henry overhead. And now Titus O'Neil again setting him in position. Clash of the Titus for the second time. And Titus can barely get back to his feet. Is this enough? The hook of the leg. 2, 3. Titus O'Neil has just defeated Mark Henry, which means we will have a new King of the Ring by the end of this night. The former World Heavyweight Champion and the odds-on favorite to win this tournament has just been eliminated by the former Intercontinental Champion. And you see everything that Titus O'Neil had to put Henry through to get out of this matchup alive. Henry, though, just tossed Titus like a rag doll, just absolutely manhandled him throughout the course of this matchup. But Titus O'Neil, he had enough in him to kick out of every single move that Henry threw at him. But the question is, how much does Titus have left? Will he be able to survive the semifinals after a performance like this? Well, only time will tell. Titus O'Neil, though, he survives this matchup, and really, that's all that matters in this moment. And now the final matchup of the quarterfinals, as we get ready to advance to the semis. But only one of these two men can move on. Will it be this man, the Cosmic Crusader, the bizarre Stardust? Or will it be the powerhouse of Thursday Night SmackDown, Roman Reigns? Who will move on to face Titus O'Neil in the third round of the tournament? We're about to find out, ladies and gentlemen. And I gotta say, you want to talk about superstars heading into this tournament with momentum, look no further than this man, Stardust. I mean, not only has he eliminated Chris Jericho in the opening round of the tournament, but Stardust, he has not lost a match since Money in the Bank, when he was in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And that was when he was, you know, we easily call him Cody Rhodes. Since then, since he's undergone this new change in persona, Stardust, he has not lost a match. And he has just really been unstoppable. You cannot predict what this man at the table. And that could perhaps, that could be the deciding factor in this matchup. The fact that Stardust, he's just so out there. You don't always know what to expect from Stardust. And it's that unpredictability that makes him so dangerous. Well, here's a man who you can definitely predict what he brings to the table. And that is just overpowering aggression. Roman Reigns, we saw how, I mean, he went to war with Adrian Neville in the last round of the tournament. And he only just managed to survive. Neville, he came just a fraction of a second away from putting Reigns out of this tournament, but Reigns able to hang on. And in dominant fashion there did he pick up that victory with not just a Superman punch, the apron dropkick, and then a spear. And of course, he had that Samoan drop from the second rope. Roman Reigns, he has a plethora of devastating moves in his arsenal. Stardust, if he gets hit with any of them, that's immediately going to change the complexion of this matchup. And it could very well change the complexion of this tournament. Well, these two men about to get underway. Referee rings the bell. And here we go. Collar and elbow tie-up here from Reigns and Stardust. And Reigns, obviously, he has the power advantage in this matchup, and he backs Stardust right into the corner. Oh, but Stardust with a slap there to Roman Reigns. And now Stardust hissing at Reigns, but Reigns, he's not having any of it. He's already pissed off enough as it is. He doesn't want to deal with Stardust's games. Certainly, that's the advantage that Stardust has, is the mind games. Certainly is a master of that. But Roman Reigns, I mean, he's not here to play games. He's here to win the WWE Championship. That is his goal. And he doesn't care who he has to go through in this tournament to get it done. Stardust counters back with a European uppercut. And a chop there to Reigns. and Reigns. It doesn't matter how much protective padding you have on that chest of yours, you're gonna feel the sting of each one of these chops. That is a chop that would make Ric Flair proud. And there's a drop kick now from Stardust. Roman Reigns. In this matchup, he's going to have to utilize that power offense of his to really take control of this matchup early on. Stardust, though, utilizing his unique striking ability. And he's going to have to use the quickness because he's not going to be able to outpower Roman Reigns. But Stardust, if he can just lock Reigns, nice swanton there from the second rope. Stardust now the cover. 1, 2, just a 1 count. Reigns able to power out. But Stardust, if he can just lock Reigns in that cross-face chicken wing, that's going to be game over for Roman Reigns. I mean, it was enough to put away Chris Jericho in the last matchup, and Jericho is a submission specialist. So Stardust, if he can lock that move in on anybody, it could be the end for any one of his opponents. Reigns, though, with a nice counter there, a DDT. And now he's flipping Stardust over here. Roman Reigns. He's got Stardust up to his feet. Here we go. Fall-away slam. Stardust catapulted about halfway across the ring there by Reigns. And now Roman Reigns, belly-to-belly suplex. And here's where Roman Reigns starts to take control. Just bringing the power to the table. Another belly-to-belly suplex. That's what brought Roman Reigns to the dance. And he's using it to full effectiveness right now. Now he's got Stardust. Michinoku driver. And there's the cover. 1, 2. Oh, a kick out by Stardust. But I know I talked about how Roman Reigns, he had a tough fight with Adrian Neville in the first round. Stardust, he didn't get out unscathed either. He had quite the battle with Christian. Stardust himself only just managed to escape with the victory. So I don't know if really either man is going to be in a better condition to fight. Oh, wait. Stardust able to block the belly-to-belly suplex. He had that one well scouted. And another drop kick by Stardust to take down Roman Reigns. Stardust now trying to drag Roman away from those ropes. Stardust now. Oh, just barely north of the border there. Stardust he's being very close tonight with getting himself disqualified. Just dancing along that line. And I think that guy in the crowd just took a selfie here. I mean, everybody's talking about King of the Ring. This is the place to be. As Stardust, kick right to the gut again, just barely north of the border. But the referee, if that was a low blow, Stardust would get disqualified. And Stardust perhaps just teasing the referee here a little bit, just trying to get under. Oh, there's a forearm right to the face from Roman Reigns. Reigns, he's tired of Stardust's gimmicks. And look at this, a clothesline from the top rope. Now everybody in the crowd is taking pictures of the action here. Roman Reigns driving the elbows right into the shoulders of Stardust. And Roman Reigns to the corner. Oh, and here we go. He cocks the fist, and he's ready to fire the Superman punch. Here we go. No, Stardust blocked it. Stardust had it well scouted. And Reigns now dumped over the top rope. Stardust, what's he gonna do here? Oh, no, I've seen this before. Stardust, DDT on the apron. DDT on the apron, and that could have knocked Reigns out cold. Stardust, just like that. He is in 100% control of this matchup, and he knows it. Stardust, now he's got Reigns on the outside, sending him into the barricade. Now sending him to the other barricade, punching away at the face of Reigns. Stardust using the environment to his advantage. And that's what he's got to do. A clubbing blow to the back of Roman Reigns. Stardust, he wants to make sure that while he's got Reigns down, that he beats enough out of him that Reigns is not going to be able to kick out once Stardust goes for the finishing maneuver. Stardust, though, I think if it comes down to it, I don't know, he'd take a count-out victory over Reigns if that's what it took. Now bouncing Reigns' skull off the announce table. But then again, I can't always get a beat on Stardust, so I'm not quite sure what he would think in this kind of a matchup. So take what I say with a grain of salt. But right now, Stardust, he's in firm control. He doesn't need a count out right now. Stardust now bringing Reigns into the corner. There's a punch to the gut. Stardust now up to the second rope. We've seen this before. Bulldog there to take down Reigns. And that could do it. Stardust the cover. 1, 2, no, not even a 2 count. Reigns powers out at 1. And there's pure frustration on the face of Stardust. Takes a lot to get this man rattled. Oh, and now Reigns able to shift the weight on that back suplex attempt, and now Stardust, he's gonna pay for it. Roman Reigns, big clothesline there. And this is where Roman Reigns, he starts to take control of the pace of this matchup. Reigns now, another clothesline. That one just about took Stardust's head off. And now Reigns. You know that the Superman punch has to be on its way. Roman Reigns. He's got Stardust here. Forearm right to the back of the skull. And Stardust, well, this is where Roman Reigns, he will clothesline you as many times as he has to. And now Super Punch is down, and Stardust could be out of it. Roman Reigns, he is feeling it. The crowd are on their feet. They know this match could be on the verge of the end. 2. No! Stardust kicks out of the Superman punch. And Roman Reigns, he cannot believe it. That's the thing. You look at all the men who are in this tournament tonight, at least all the men in this semifinals, you might not take Stardust as a serious threat, but Roman Reigns, he has no other choice than to do that right now. Roman Reigns! A suicide dive over the top rope. Nearly taking himself out of the matchup just to take Stardust out of this thing. Roman Reigns, he knows now he has no choice. He cannot hold anything back against Stardust if he wants to survive this tournament. Reigns putting it all on the line. And now, powerbomb to Stardust, and that could do it. 1, 2, no, again! Again, Stardust kicks out, and this crowd is on their feet. A standing ovation for this matchup. Roman Reigns now tossing Stardust into the corner. Reigns, he cannot believe that Stardust has managed to survive this onslaught of offense. Reigns now, no, Stardust an elbow to the face, and now there's a bionic elbow from the top rope. Beautiful move by Stardust. And now Stardust, perhaps looking to fly some more. Springboard dropkick right to the face. And just like that, Stardust has regained control of this matchup. And this could perhaps be the last gasp for Stardust. Oh, look at this disaster kick. He connected right on the button. And now the cover. 1, 2. Oh, Reigns just able to kick out. We were almost on the verge of an upset there. And Stardust, he is here tonight to prove that he can hang with the best of the best, and he's doing just that. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. Dark matter. Stardust, the victory could be at hand. 1, 2, no! My God, Stardust he almost put Roman Reigns away right there. Now an elbow to the top of the forehead. Reigns now, it took all he had left in him just to kick out of that. Stardust nearly had him. But Stardust now, he can't lose his composure. He's got to keep on the attack. Stardust now, sending Reigns off the ropes. Here we go, a bulldog again. Excuse me, a bulldog again by Stardust. And now the cover. 1, 2, no! Another kick out by Reigns. Stardust, he's got to be thinking to himself, what do I have to do to keep Reigns down? Reigns now a counter with the knee. Stardust whipped off the ropes. Roman Reigns, he's got him up on his shoulders here. Samoan drop from Reigns. And Reigns now back to the corner. Oh, and he's looking to hit a second Superman punch in this matchup. Bam! Right there, he connected. Stardust, he's out like a light. Roman Reigns back to the corner. And now, looking for the finishing blow. With a full head of steam, Roman Reigns with a spear. And that is going to be it for Stardust. I don't care who you are not kicking out of that spear. The hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns advances to the semifinals. But, I'm sure he got much more of a fight than he was expecting out of Stardust tonight. Stardust, for a moment there, I thought Stardust was going to be moving on to the semifinals. But Roman Reigns, sure enough, managed to turn things back around in his favor. And Roman Reigns will be advancing to face Titus O'Neil in the semifinals. But again, you have to give credit to Stardust, to his performance tonight in this matchup. Stardust, he went there, and he gave Roman Reigns the fight of his life. It took all Reigns had left in him just to move on. Does he have enough left in him, though, to defeat Titus O'Neil? Well, we'll find out when we get to that matchup. This is the conclusion of the quarterfinals. We'll be back with the semifinals as Seth Rollins will take on Cesaro, and it's next. It's time for the semifinals here, the third round in the King of the Ring tournament. And we are back yet again to see Seth competing.
And he's going to one-on-one with the United States Champion, Cesaro. And as this is the semifinals, this is the finals in the Raw bracket. The winner of this will be representing Monday Night Raw as they go on to face the winner of the Titus O'Neil Roman Reigns matchup, which will take place just following this one. But right now, Seth Rollins, he is coming off of a victory over Rob Van Dam in the first round. And in the second round, he scored a win over Rusev with some assistance from Kane and The Big Show. And now, Seth Rollins, he's going to go one-on-one with the King of Swing, the Swiss Superman, Cesaro. But Seth Rollins, I mean, by hook or by crook to this point, he has, he's broken the rules, he's cheated to get to this point. But the fact of the matter is that he's here. And it doesn't matter how he made it to this point. It's just the fact that he is here. Meanwhile, Cesaro, he has gone through Christian in the first round and Dean Ambrose in the second round of the tournament to get to this semifinal matchup. Cesaro last year in the King of the Ring tournament, he eliminated Seth Rollins in the opening round of the tournament. So there's a bit of history there between these two men. Seth Rollins looking to redeem himself for last year's King of the Ring performance. Cesaro, he's looking to move on to the finals of the tournament, and he's looking to win it all to become king. And if Cesaro does that, I mean, what really is going to stop him from winning whichever world championship he pursues? I mean, he has just been unstoppable for the past several months. More recently, he's hit a bit of a rocky road. He won the Intercontinental Champion 2 weeks later to the debuting Kevin Owens. So now, Cesaro, he's looking to finally try to put himself back on the winning road. I mean, tonight he's done a very good job at rebounding off of his back-to-back losses from Main Event and SmackDown. And right now we'll see if he has built himself up enough momentum to take Seth Rollins. As right now Rollins, a nice strike to the face there, so that one staggers Cesaro. There's a clubbing blow right to the back. Seth Rollins with the knee to the skull, and Cesaro crashes out to the floor. Seth Rollins, as usual, he's going to look to try to quicken the pace of this matchup, but Cesaro sweeps out the leg, preventing Seth Rollins from perhaps looking for a dive off the apron. Cesaro, his power offense is what brought him to this point, and he basically has to use a similar strategy to the one that he used in his match against Dean Ambrose. Just utilize that power and explosiveness, as there was a nice European uppercut to Seth Rollins. Look at Cesaro swinging Seth Rollins into the barricade there. Beautiful way for Cesaro to utilize his environment to his advantage, and a great way to gain the upper hand against Seth Rollins here. And now sending Rollins into the barricade again. And now Cesaro tossing Rollins into the ring. Right off the bat, it's Cesaro who has the firm upper hand in this matchup. And Cesaro, I am seriously hoping that he can put away Seth Rollins and get him out of this tournament. I mean, Seth Rollins, after his last match with Rusev, the fact that he needed assistance to get to this point, despicable. But Rollins right now with the cover on Cesaro. First of the matchup. No, but it's only a 2 count. Cesaro able to kick out of that one. Oh, but Cesaro with a nice body shot. And a huge European uppercut there to Seth Rollins. And now Cesaro looking for one of his vintage suplexes. There it is. As Seth Rollins. Now the cover by Cesaro. 1, 2. No! Kick out by Rollins. But now that we are at this point in the tournament, fatigue is really going to be setting in. I mean, these two have battles with their previous opponents. I mean, Seth Rollins, that opening matchup with Rob Van Dam really took a lot out of him. His match with Rusev last round also took a fairly good chunk out of whatever stamina he has remaining. Cesaro, he had grueling matches against Christian and Dean Ambrose. And with less and less recovery time as these matches go on, it's just going to get increasingly more difficult for these 4 remaining men to keep fighting. As Seth Rollins now, the Michinoku driver, the cover. No! Cesaro able to get the shoulder up at 2. And now Seth Rollins. He's got to stay on the attack. He's got to keep a quick offensive assault going here. Small package driver. Again, the legs hooked. 1, 2. No! Cesaro just able to kick out. But Seth Rollins, a very smart strategy here. A quick ace. Oh, but Cesaro, he just caught Seth Rollins' face right there on that second rope. A brilliant counter by Cesaro. And now he drags Seth Rollins to the center of the ring. Looking for yet another gut-wrench suplex. But he still has him hooked. Cesaro, he's looking for the trifecta. As he nails number 2. And now, number 3 on the way. And Cesaro right now, he has firm control of this matchup yet again. Looking for the Cesaro swing. Seth Rollins, he's in a world of trouble. Here's Cesaro. The ride has begun as Seth Rollins gets swung around and around and around and around into oblivion. And that might just put Seth Rollins away. I don't know if he's going to be able to recover his equilibrium in enough time to kick out of this. 1, 2. No! Well, Cesaro can't believe it. This crowd cannot believe it. But that's only a 2 count. Seth Rollins. Oh, nice counter there. A jawbreaker. Rollins. Roll through. No, wait a minute. Into a super kick. Beautiful move there by Seth Rollins. The hook of the leg. 1, 2. No, now it's Cesaro, who just barely kicks out just before the 3 count. Seth Rollins right now, he's got to be... I mean, he can't waste any time. He's got to keep this attack going if he wants to have any hope of surviving the Swiss Superman's onslaught in this matchup. A reverse STO into that second turnbuckle. Seth Rollins, he has got Cesaro on the ropes. And he's got to hurry up and put him away. And that's just what he's looking to do. Seth Rollins has him up. Power bomb into the turnbuckle. And that could put away the King of Swing. If Rollins could only hook the leg, and he does. 1, 2.
No! How does Cesaro keep doing this? First the super kick. Now the buckle bomb, but neither is enough to put Cesaro away. Now look at this. The Skywalker. Hook of the leg. 1, 2. No, and again Cesaro kicks out. Cesaro, you have to think, after his 2 matches earlier this week, he could be dealing with just as much fatigue as Seth Rollins, but somehow Cesaro keeps himself in this matchup. Oh no, the kick to the back of the leg, and now Cesaro, he's got Seth Rollins in the sharpshooter. The sharpshooter's applied. Rollins, he's so close to those ropes if he could just crawl. Cesaro, he's got it locked in, but Seth Rollins refusing to tap out. Cesaro instead trying to conserve energy here. Broke the hold, but that now it could cost him. Seth Rollins, a nice counter there to Cesaro. And now, oh, a sleeper slam. Cesaro, he broke the hold to try to perhaps conserve energy for the finals, but now that backfired. Seth Rollins, kick to the gut of Cesaro. And the arms are hooked. Pedigree. Cesaro driven face first. And that might have just taken whatever he had left right out of him. Oh no, wait. Seth Rollins follows it up with a curb stomp. And that for sure is going to spell the end. 2, 3, dagnabbit. Seth Rollins, he just secured himself a place in the King of the Ring finals. You've got to be kidding me. After everything that Cesaro put this man through, that swing into the barricade, blown Cesaro's swing, the sharpshooter, but no. Cesaro, he broke the sharpshooter, and that's ultimately what came back to cost him. When he thought it appeared as though Seth Rollins wouldn't tap out, Cesaro tried to conserve energy, perhaps looked to put him away with a neutralizer, but no. Instead, Seth Rollins found it within himself to counter, hit the pedigree, then the curb stomp, and that was lights out for Cesaro. Well, that was one hell of a matchup we just saw there for the finals of the Raw bracket. Now with SmackDown finals and the final matchup in the semifinals, as it's the former Intercontinental Champion, the real deal Titus O'Neil, preparing to go one-on-one with the powerhouse of Thursday Night SmackDown, Roman Reigns. Just imagine the potential matchup there. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns in the finals. Just imagine Titus O'Neil versus Seth Rollins in the finals. Either way, we're going to get one of those 2 matches, but unfortunately, there can only be 2 in the King of the Ring finals, which means one man, his night is about to come to an end right here, right now. Titus O'Neil, he's looking ready to go. He's already gone through one half of the tag team champions, but also last year's King of the Ring winner, Mark Henry, which means that we will have a new King of the Ring this year. But the question is, will it be one of these 2 men, or will it be Seth Rollins? Roman Reigns making his way down here through the crowd. The crowd showing their support for Roman Reigns here. Reigns, of course, defeated Adrian Neville in the opening round of the tournament, and then he defeated Stardust last round to make it to this. And now, does he have enough left in him to defeat Titus O'Neil? Again, we talk about fatigue. We talk about the battle scars left from previous matchups. Roman Reigns, he went to war with Adrian Neville in that first round. And Stardust put up a hell of a fight as well in the second. But Titus O'Neil, while he might have been able to get through Connor with, I wouldn't say it was an easy fight, but not quite as tough of a challenge as what Reigns faced with Neville. Titus O'Neil, he just only barely scraped by in his match with Mark Henry. So I think these 2, they're about at a level playing field. Now the question is, who is going to come out on top? Reigns and Titus O'Neil staring each other down in the center of the ring. And here we go. Titus O'Neil, oh, countered by Reigns with a knee to the gut. Now wait,
Titus counters the attempted punch from Reigns. And now here's Titus with the forearms. There's a body shot. Another forearm from Titus. Now Reigns, he catches the punch, delivers one of his own. And Roman Reigns now clothesline. Taking down Titus O'Neil. And Roman Reigns now firing away with that right hand. Right into the skull. Roman Reigns. Certainly you do not want to get in slugfest with man. But right now Titus is holding his own. There's a shoulder block. And Titus O'Neil. You can just see the confidence. He thinks he's got a strong upper hand in this matchup. And now tossing Reigns around by his hair there. Well, the crowd, it seems as though they've warmed up to Titus a little bit as this show has gone on. I mean, we saw Titus O'Neil, he seemed on a new leaf, perhaps, when he went down to the ring and he helped his former best friend, former tag team partner, former enemy, Darren Young, back to his feet and to the back after his match with Mark Henry. Then, of course, Titus fighting for revenge for Darren Young in the match against Mark Henry also came out on top. I don't know. The crowd, I think they're pretty split on this one. They don't know whether to cheer for Titus O'Neil or whether to boo him. At the same time, they don't know whether to cheer or boo Roman Reigns. It's a 50-50 crowd. As look at Titus O'Neil. Fall-away slam from the second rope. And that could be enough. Titus, the hook of the leg. 1, 2. No! Reigns just able to get the kick out. But Titus O'Neil not wasting any time with the ref. He's just going right back on the attack. As now Titus O'Neil looking to perhaps slow down the pace of this matchup a little bit. Just try to catch his breath. I mean, after two grueling rounds of action, you know, these two men, definitely they're not going to come out here and put on a high-octane, fast-paced matchup like we saw in some of our opening matchups. These matchups certainly are going to slow down as the night goes on, and as they have slowed down. Roman Reigns again, clothesline to Titus. Once again, dropping the real deal. Roman Reigns now, perhaps looking to set him up for a Superman punch. He's just prepping himself up here, but no. Titus O'Neil with some punches of his own. Nothing super about those, but they're effective. Oh, and now he hangs him out to dry there. Right on that top rope. Titus O'Neil, hook of the leg. No! But that's a smart move there to perhaps try to take the wind out of your opponent. Titus O'Neil, he knows what he's doing. There's a reason why he was the Intercontinental Champion from WrestleMania to Night of Champions. He didn't get a reign like that just by luck. He knows what it takes to win a match, to put away, whether it's high flyers, powerhouses, you name it. But Reigns, a Superman punch. And well, as much as I'd like to praise Titus O'Neil for his title reign, wait, the cover here by Reigns. Oh, no. Just barely a kick out by Titus. And as much as I could praise Titus O'Neil for having a successful Intercontinental Championship reign, the fact remains that he is no longer the champ. Reigns, that punch right to the back of the skull. I mean, that just goes to show that Titus, he is not invincible. And Roman Reigns looking to prove that right now. Powerbomb. 1, 2. No! Again, Titus on the brink of defeat. Just manages to pull himself back. But Roman Reigns continues the attack. Now, wait. Titus with the elbows to the side of Roman Reigns' skull. Now Reigns off the ropes. Titus, a big boot. That one might have just taken Reigns' head off. And that definitely is going to change the complexion of this matchup. Titus O'Neil, look at this. He's got Reigns up on his shoulders. Gutbuster there. Titus O'Neil has defeated many an opponent with that move in the past, and he could defeat yet another. 2. Oh, no, no, no. Reigns. Now it's his turn to pull himself from the brink. He manages to hang on, but I don't know how much these two men have left. Reigns whipped into the corner. And now Titus whips him off the other corner.
Perhaps looking for the third. And now Titus looking for a powerbomb of his own. No, wait, Reigns DDT! Reigns with the reversal. And now, Reigns to the corner. He's sizing him up. He could be looking to SmackDown
in half. There it is. No, wait. Titus shifted it into a DDT. And Reigns stumbling back to his feet, but he doesn't even know where he is. Titus O'Neil. Clash of the Titus. Clash of the Titus could put an end to Reigns' King of the Ring stint. And it does. Titus O'Neil. He's moving on to the finals of the tournament. He's going one-on-one with Seth Rollins. He is just one match away, one victory away from becoming the King of the Ring. Wow, what a performance here tonight from Titus O'Neil. 3 matches, 3 victories against 3 very tough opponents. Reigns, it looks as though he's not going to get his hands on Seth Rollins just yet. Instead, it's Titus O'Neil who's moving on to the finals. Well, once again, we are about to take a brief intermission here in preparation for the finals of the tournament. Titus O'Neil versus Seth Rollins is just a few moments away, so don't go anywhere.
This is my title from now on, and no one has the courage to challenge me for it. My title reign will be one for the ages.
This is it. This is for all the marbles. The final match in the King of the Ring tournament. This one will determine our new King of the Ring. Will it be the architect formerly of the Shield, Seth Rollins? Or will it be the former Intercontinental Champion, the real deal, Titus O'Neil? We are about to find out in just a few short moments. Seth Rollins making his way down to the ring, and he has gone through quite the struggle throughout this night. He had to go through the returning Rob Van Dam in one hellacious opening matchup. He had to defeat Rusev with some help from his allies. Ugh. And he had to go through the Swiss Superman and the current United States Champion, Cesaro. Well, one way or another, you cannot deny that Seth Rollins has been impressive tonight. One way or another, he has made it to this point, but does he have enough left to overcome this SmackDown's representative here in the tournament? Titus O'Neil, he defeated Connor in the first round, defeated Mark Henry just barely in the second round, and by the skin of his teeth, he defeated Roman Reigns in our previous matchup. Now, Titus O'Neil, he did get a few moments there in the intermission to recover, but he is coming straight off of that match with Roman Reigns and play a huge factor heading into this matchup. Seth Rollins, though, he hasn't had a whole abundance of time to recover either.
He had maybe 10 minutes at most. I mean, Seth Rollins, that match with Cesaro, he only just barely scraped by as well. But when you're just, I gotta give the advantage to Seth here, because we've already seen Kane and Big Show get involved in this tournament, and you have to admit, wait a minute. No way! What is Darren Young doing out here? Oh, wait. No, I know what this is about. I think I know exactly why Darren Young is out here. Well, you know, I was talking about some potential interference in this final matchup, but I think Titus O'Neil, he got himself an insurance policy. That's right, Darren Young is here at ringside. Just in case somebody decides to get involved on behalf of Seth Rollins. Well, here we go. This match is underway. Seth strikes first, but it's Titus now who counters back. And it's not about who strikes first. It's about who strikes last. Who gets the finishing blow. Who comes out king of the ring. Titus O'Neil, look at this. Hammering away. No, but Seth Rollins now striking back. Here's Seth. Facebuster. And now Seth hooks the leg. Looking to finish this one early. 2. Oh! Titus kicks out. But already we're getting the near falls. And that just really goes to show how these two men have gone throughout the night. Roll up by Seth. 2. Through. No. Only 2. Only 2. Seth, another roll up here. 1. 2. No. Another kick out. But Seth Rollins, you can see right off the bat, not wasting any time. Titus O'Neil utilizing Seth's momentum against him. Cover. 2. Oh! Just like that, Seth Rollins almost found himself defeated by Titus O'Neil. There's Titus now with a body shot. And now Seth Rollins, perhaps his confidence has been shot now that he knows that Darren Young is out here at ringside. It's going to perhaps be a bit of a foil in Seth Rollins' plans. But I don't think that's going to put a stop to it completely. If I know Seth Rollins, you can damn sure count on that he's got a plan B, a plan C. And perhaps he's got a plan for every single letter of the alphabet. Seth Rollins will do whatever it takes to walk out of here as the king of the ring. Titus O'Neil, though, that apron suplex, or I should say, the slingshot, cover. No! Seth able to kick out. That suplex there onto that top rope. Smart move by Titus to try to deflate Seth Rollins here. Try to cut off his oxygen. Because all you got to do is keep your opponent down for a... It's not like you have to go out there and you have to beat them down physically until they cannot stand. All you have to do is get them down on the mat for 3 seconds. Whatever move it takes to do that, that's all that's all you got to do. You don't have to go out there and be the hero. You don't have to go out there and put on some Herculean effort. All you have to do is win. As Seth Rollins doing a very good job here, wearing Titus down with these submission holds. An abdominal stretch here, but Titus O'Neil refusing to tap out. But even if that's the case, Seth Rollins doing valuable damage to Titus O'Neil, but it's not enough to keep Seth on the offensive. And now Titus O'Neil hammering away at the face of Seth Rollins. And I'm really glad to see Darren Young out here tonight, because not only is it going to perhaps prevent Seth Rollins from, instigating any shenanigans in this matchup, but it really goes to show that Titus O'Neil, he has, it's not just, there's a mutual feeling of respect between Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. And I have to admire that. After everything that they've gone through this past year, I have to... Oh, wait, no. Seth countered. Titus was looking for a backbreaker, but Seth Rollins a back suplex instead. But I really do have to admire that mutual respect between Titus and Darren Young. And after everything they've gone through to get to this point, it's amazing to see that. Titus O'Neil back on the offensive. He's got Seth Rollins up on his shoulders and back down into the mat with that power slam and the cover. 2. Oh, no. Seth kicks out. But you see the crowd there. Some people in the audience starting to get up on their feet because they know that really any of the pinfalls in this matchup could be the deciding factor. With everything that has taken place in this tournament, even just an ordinary move could be the end of one of these two superstars. Titus O'Neil driving the elbows. Oh, wait a minute, no! That's Wesley Blake! Wesley Blake is... No, and now Buddy Murphy up on the ropes as well, but Titus O'Neil distracted. Darren Young, he's dealing with Wesley Blake over here at ringside, but he's only one man. And Seth Rollins, he's got two men here to back him up. Well, Titus O'Neil, he took out Buddy Murphy,
but it was enough of a distraction to give Seth Rollins the opening. Seth the cover. Not way.
Oh, thank God. Oh, my goodness. Titus O'Neil kicks out. Wow, that was too close. But right now, Darren Young's preoccupied with Wesley Blake. What's to stop Buddy Murphy from getting involved again? Titus O'Neil, at this point, it's just a battle of attrition. Seth Rollins, he's going to keep striking away until Titus can't kick out. 2, 3. Another kick out by Titus. And I know I'm supposed to be the unbiased commentator here. I'm just the play-by-play guy. But, I mean, come on. I'd be the only one who completely despises Seth Rollins' actions tonight. I mean, this whole tournament, the conclusion is supposed to be a straight-up, fair, one-on-one matchup. We're not supposed to have these shenanigans involved. Small package driver now by Seth. Cover again. 2, 3. Oh, thank goodness. Another kick out. But now look at this. Wesley Blake hung up on the apron there. The apron, I should say, that's the barricade. Oh, wait a minute. Now Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose is here. Dean Ambrose has jumped the barricade. And now he's taking out Buddy Murphy. Finally, we can even the odds here. And Dean Ambrose, Darren Young, they're taking out the trash. Well, this isn't enough to really compensate for the damage already done, but it could be enough to shift the momentum in this match. Seth Rollins, though, not letting, I mean, what's done is done. Seth's just looking for the win. No! The buckle bomb, not enough to put away Titus O'Neil. Seth Rollins, now the frustration begins to set in. I mean, he's had Blake and Murphy out here tonight. Oh, Titus now, he's back in it. Oh, Seth is in trouble. Seth is in trouble. Gutbuster. Gutbuster from Titus O'Neil. He might have just put Seth away. 1, 2, 3. No! Oh, Seth Rollins kicks out. Meanwhile, here at ringside, Dean Ambrose. Oh, Buddy Murphy is in trouble here. Dean Ambrose hooks the arms. Dirty deeds through the announce table. Well, that's just what you get, Buddy Murphy. And look at this. Titus O'Neil has been busted open. But Titus O'Neil still fighting. Seth Rollins, he brought everything to the table here. But Titus O'Neil continues to fight back. Superplex! And that might just do it. That could finish off Seth Rollins here. Oh, wait, Titus, no. He wants to make sure. Oh, wait, look at Darren Young. Gut check to Buddy Murphy. Suck it, Blake and Murphy. And suck it, Seth Rollins. Looking for the coup de grace. Clash of the Titus. And now just pinning Titus. This is over. 1, 2, 3. Titus O'Neil is your new king of the ring. My God, what a final matchup that was. And thank God that Seth Rollins, with all of his cheating, deceiving ways, he still could not win the King of the Ring tournament tonight. Titus O'Neil, with the help of Dean Ambrose and Darren Young, Titus O'Neil had what was left in him, just the last ounce of his strength he put into that Clash of the Titus, and he is the second ever King of the Ring here in Universe Mode. Titus O'Neil, he's going on a Survivor Series to challenge for a World Championship of his choosing. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the pay-per-view. The special event, I should say. And until the next episode of Universe Mode, as I always say, keep on YouTubing.